So, I'm going to explain to you why hiring a marketing agency or a sales agency is probably a very bad idea if you're trying to launch your own coaching, training, or consulting program. So, first, I'm going to clarify who this advice is for. Most of the people who come to me, well, they're all mental health professionals because that's the only people I work with, but they're usually people who are just at the startup stage. They want to create and launch a coaching, training, or consulting program, and they have less than 10 sales or they have no product at all. And so I help them to build these products. I help them to build these products and services. I show them how to market them. And what this helps them to do is to make more money, to make more impact, and to greatly reduce the clinical hours that it takes in order to do so. But what I come across every so often is this thought process where people are calling me and they have a coaching program or they have an online course and they've already built it. And their thought process is, okay, I'm going to find somebody, I'm going to hire somebody to sell this thing for me because I've built it. That's what I know how to do. And now I want to sell it. Or I've had other people where they've built the program and then decided they don't have time. And so what they're going to do is they're going to license this program to somebody else to have them sell it. And what I need to say to you is if you're thinking that if you have zero sales of your program and you're about to hire an agency, a Facebook ad expert, or you're about to license your product, or you're going to try and find somebody who's going to do all this stuff for you, all these marketing services for you, you're practically guaranteed to fail. I understand the logic. You're like, I'm not sure how to market my program, so I'm going to hire this league of experts who are going to do it for me. Problem solved. And there's actually a lot of agencies who are going to parade a lot of experience and a lot of success stories in front of you in order to get a monthly retainer out of you in order to do this job. They're going to tell you they can do the job, but you're missing something. You're actually missing two things that are vitally, vitally important that you need to understand. First thing is, nobody's going to come and save you. Okay, everybody who's in this business is in this business to make money, and sometimes what some people, the way they make money, frankly, is just by selling you something that they know isn't going to work for you. So you have to watch out for that. And what a lot of the time is when you hire an agency, you have these professional marketers, but they're also at the very beginning stages, just like you, of figuring out what will sell your product. They're not a magical answer to selling your product. If it's a sales agency, i.e., people who are going to take the calls and actually sell your program and hand you clients, they have to onboard salespeople and they have to train these salespeople to get these salespeople to be actually good at what you're selling. And during that whole time, you need to be generating a bunch of leads for them, for these people. Or if it's a marketing agency, you're going to do ads and do all these other kinds of things in order to sell your marketing, they're going to have to try and test a whole bunch of strategies to see what works. And from that, they're going to take a monthly fee and they're going to take an ad budget from you, and they're going to be doing graphics and they're going to do all other kinds of things for you, and they're going to have people who are doing all of these things, and it's going to cost you a lot of money. You see? So it's not like when you hire an agency that is the end of the answer. They're just going to figure it out and do it. No, when you hire an agency, then you actually have to be the one who teaches that agency what works. You have to teach them why people buy your product. You have to give them the value proposition. Okay, and then you have to take a look at the work that they do and critique it until it's right. And you're going to find that you're still doing half of the thought work for them, and you're probably communicating the same concepts to them over and over and over again until they get it. It's not a magic pill. And so the whole thing, so what does this mean? What this means is that if you haven't first got the experience yourself of knowing why people buy your product because you've sold it 10 times or 20 times or 50 times, hiring other people to do that work for you is going to fail. If you don't have the experience of selling the program yourself, I guarantee you every dollar you pay to these outside agencies is going to be a dollar lost. Now, somebody came to me recently and said, I'm going to license my program to other people because they are people who have the time to sell it. And I took a look at who was licensing it, and I was like, I see some people who are well meaning people. I see some people who have some skills. But the metrics just didn't work because the whole plan here was okay, my program's going to be sold. It's going to be a $500 course. I'm going to take 30% of the revenue. They're going to take 70% of the revenue. Okay, so you're taking 30% of the revenue of a $500 course. So you're taking somewhere between 150 and 200 bucks per sale. Okay, which leaves the partner that you have with about $300 to $350 in revenue per sale. What she doesn't understand is that the cost of actually selling a $500 online course is going to be at least $350 in ad spend. And so there's just not enough money in it for these people who are licensing this program in order for them to be worth it. So all you're going to do is spend a whole bunch of time doing this licensing deal, and then nothing's going to come of it. Okay, so that's really what it is. But there's actually a more fundamental component here of what's really happening if you're going out there and trying to license your online course, or you're trying to hire agencies who are going to do this work for you. There's something happening on the energetic level that you need to understand. Because what you're energetically saying is, I don't care enough about this business to really do the work or find some time to carve out of my week to actually really grow it. You're basically checking out of the business. You're saying, I don't want to do the stuff that seems difficult to me, and so I'm just going to give it to somebody else and hope they do it right. What's happening there energetically is your energy is not the driving force behind creating this business. And if your energy is not the driving force behind creating this business, it's not going to go anywhere. No company, no agency, no licensing partner can substitute for you being present enough in this effort to do it. Now, you don't have to be full time present to have your energy there pushing the project forward, but your energy has to be the driving force. Otherwise, you're guaranteed that this is going to flop. So the question becomes how to make this work when you're time limited because your mental health practice is based on trading your time for money, which means you don't have the time, the full time effort that it takes to put into actually figuring out how to grow and to sell your online course or your online coaching program. Well, what I've found is it's about having somebody to actually mentor you in doing the right things that gives you the best chances of success. Because if you can think about it this way, if you're just going out and trying stuff that you've never done before to sell your coaching program, market your coaching program, sell your online course, then about 75 to 80% of what you do is not going to work. Now, if you hire somebody who actually says, this is the stuff that works most often, and this is the stuff that definitely doesn't work, then what you're doing is you're taking that 75% and you're reducing it to about 10% of wasted effort. And the rest of the time, you're actually working on stuff that's actually going to help you to build your business. That's why mentorship programs and coaching programs are a better answer for you than actually hiring an agency. And what you'll find is they're actually less work than hiring an agency, spending a bunch of money, realizing that this agency is failing at their job, and then you having to intervene anyway. And so what it's about doing is about not about outsourcing and just sort of trying to wash your hands of stuff that you don't know how to do. It's about having the right advice and having the right people there with you to make sure that all these new skills that you're learning and how to market your coaching program or marketing your course are actually based in right action. It's by walking a path that other people have walked before you. Now, your path's going to be slightly different to everybody else because it's slightly different to everybody, but there are some general rules And there are some skills that you need to know what these skills are so that you can learn them very, very quickly. And then you need to have somebody who's showing you how to do it correctly. If you invest this way, it sounds like it's more work, but it's actually less work and less money than hiring an agency, because what happens is you're going to get results in less time. And so you're actually going to spend less money on mentorship than you would paying the monthly fee to agencies and sales agencies and investing all of this kind of stuff and all these other people who are selling you up the street, and then not be able to deliver, because what that does is it costs you months and months and months of lost time and lost revenue, and months and months and months of waiting for results that never come. So, if you want to understand the approach that I have to selling a coaching, training, or consulting program, I can set you up with a training to watch. If you would like to do that, what you need to do is hit me up in the comments below or send me a direct message, and I'll send that over so that you can watch it in your own time. But I hope this has served you a little bit, because I see a lot of people making this same mistake over and over and over again. They think there's a magical solution to selling their program that doesn't involve them doing anything. And so they invest in these ideas that just basically send them round and round in circles, because they haven't done the fundamental work, even though that fundamental work can be achieved in just a few hours per week. Even though that result can be achieved in just a few fundamental hours per week of right action, what they're doing is just trying to kick the whole problem over to somebody else and hope that they sort it out. And that right there is guaranteed to failure. So send me a DM if you want to see the training about my approach and how you can actually create a coaching, training, or consulting program that sells. This is open to mental health professionals only. I'll look for your messages coming into my inbox. And thanks for letting me sit on my soapbox here a little bit today. I've just been watching a couple of people make this mistake and really sort of feeling for them, because I know the results they're going to get as I watch them going down this path. And so what I want to do is make sure that all of you who are watching this have the right information on how to get this job done and what you need to be focused on to get this job done, because this is the way that you're able to go from trading your time for money, working an hour in order to bill an hour, to actually coming up with a leveraged way of making money while still making a positive impact in the world.